everyone, and welcome back to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, soon-to-be published author, Jonathan Taylor. And now I am in the last video of my Road to Publication miniseries, and it is the one where I finally actually start talking about publication, or publishing. I'm only talking about it now because it is also chronologically the last step in my writing journey. I really only started to deal with this, approach this step about a year ago, when I already had my YouTube accounts, my Twitter account, and my DeviantArt account set up. I also had a Goodreads account set up, but I soon realized that is not really helpful to my to my mission, to my goal of becoming a published author, so I set it aside. To anyone who has been trying to interact with me on Goodreads, yeah, sorry. I will get to you though, I will get to you. Anyway, as I said, I was starting to set up all these accounts on various areas where I thought authors or writers in general would congregate, because I already know that the writing market is generally kind of oversaturated, and you have to make yourself stand out in some way. And I thought I could use my internet presence in order to really make that happen. It is also around that time that I started doing my journal research. So looking for agents, looking for what distinguishes various publishing houses, what would they be interested in, what is their reach, what are their conditions, what kind of genres do they advertise or host, whatever you want to call it. And I also watched various videos on this topic. How to find the right agent for you, how to find the right publishing house for you, how do you effectively market yourself, etc., etc. After a while, I decided to put the information I received to good use into practice, and started looking for agents who wanted to take on clients who wrote fantasy or coming of age or military stuff, etc. And I found a few. I queried them. I did write. That didn't mean that I wrote a lot of query letters. Some rougher than others. And eventually, I sent them all out. Everyone I ever wrote, because I never write. I didn't write query letters in anticipation. I wrote them as I realized they would be necessary. I did receive some answers. Not all the queries I sent out did actually receive an answer though, so that's somewhat regrettable. And from the answers I did receive, pretty much all of them were rejections. And not only that, but most of these rejections were for pretty generic reasons, like your book is not what we're searching for right now, that kind of stuff. The only rejection I got that did actually have some kind of some more constructive thing to say was one that took one sentence out of the manuscript excerpt I sent them, because sometimes publishers' agents want to also see excerpts. And this agent, I think, took one sentence out of my excerpt and said, okay, this sentence is way too jumbled, way too crowded. Like, seriously, simplify it somehow. And I was like, I don't really see how. But then again, yes, I am the author, so everything is already in my head. It would make sense that I would not see how it's jumbled. But I was like, well, let's say it is. If this sentence is too jumbled, well then, what would a non-jumbled sentence sound like? And also, if this sentence is jumbled, what about all matter sentences? Would I have to rewrite everything? Would I have to rewrite just some parts? and which parts, and how would my book change in in that regard if I were to really alter everything that would be needed to make it marketable. So yeah, I was pretty much in this perpetual um, uncertainty state for a while. So yeah, I wasn't just concerned because of how the pandemic was going on, but also how my writing future would unfold. And given I was not receiving a lot of answers, and the answers I did receive didn't really come up as increasingly helpful, and also because all the videos I did see and all the other information sources I sought out pretty much revealed that there is a lot of bullshit surrounding this topic, and because I wanted to get published by the time I was 30, I decided, okay, screw it, I'm doing self-publishing, and I stuck to that idea. However, in order to do so, I still had to do some more self-advertising. So I scaled back my pursuits for a publisher and started advertising myself a little bit more. I went a bit more ambitious on my with my YouTube videos in topic if not presentation. I sought out more communities and interaction opportunities with writers on Twitter. I also wanted to get myself more active on DeviantArt, etc., etc. I've kind of been neglecting DeviantArt recently, but I am slowly making up for it as of right now. Eventually I was able to change my full-time job and also became settled within it, and somewhere around a few weeks ago, when everything was going smoothly in the parts of my life that weren't connected to writing, I decided, okay, let's start searching for publishing opportunities yet again. This time I knew I wanted to self-publish, and I decided to look for places where that could happen. And I did find some that were interesting, but none that were really convenient enough for my purposes. Because when you're a writer with a full-time job, simultaneously being your own agent in your own marketing company is surprisingly pretty freaking hard. So there's only so much you can do without seriously burning yourself out. So, but regardless, I was able to get myself a KDP account, a Kobo account, and register for the Google Play Partner Center. And therefore, I will be able to post and publish my book, at least initially, through Amazon, Kobo, and Google Play. Maybe if they take off over there, I'll be able to spend more time trying to advertise myself on other platforms as well. But until then, I'm only stuck with the hope that everything I've done so far has actually been enough, and that I am able to reach out to people who will enjoy my books for what they are, and that they will, and that these books then end up gaining the kind of traction they would need in order to really become to really allow me to sustain myself based on my writing, because that still remains the dream, the ideal. Being able to make a steady living based off of my ideas, based off my writing, based off the things that I'm already basically by default doing in my head all the time. And yeah, here I am, the hopeful one. And I also have one more hope, namely that you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for paying attention to it. If you did enjoy it, then please leave a like and maybe share it wherever you think others will enjoy it. If you didn't like it, then you don't. And if you didn't like it, then you don't have to leave a like. But I would still like to share it wherever. Maybe even somewhere people hate it. That's gonna be fine too. If you have anything you'd like to add, the comment section awaits your input. And if for some reason you want to see when my next video comes up, regardless of what it is that I end up doing with it, then please subscribe. Maybe also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.